It's all incrementalism. We're moving into world government. This isn't a joke. It's time to get away from the ball games, get away from the distractions, get away from Hollywood, get away from the movies, get away from the mainstream media and the people that have lied to you about the things that are taking place. We are more powerful than what most people are actually aware of. They want you afraid. They want you intimidated. They want you keeping yourself in line, kind of like coming into line in a concentration camp of sorts. They don't want you thinking outside the box, outside the matrix, outside of the system. And this is like a train straight out of hell. It's coming at us at full speed because they're also calling for a new world order financial system and other things as well. New world order, stop terrorism. New world order, stop this, that, and the other.
Quite a certain group of people figured out that if you can control the money of all countries, through the money you can control the government. When you control the government, you can control the people. Mm-hmm. And they used certain methods of how to keep the population in control. And money is a key method of how they do it. Money is actually an ancient occult talisman for control. Because if you can get people dependent on money, make people believe that this stuff is real and that they need this stuff in order to exist and take advantage of the wonderful world that God provided for us all, mm-hmm. then you can have them dependent on this stuff. And if you have them dependent, then you have them under control. Control breeds power, and this is how it all works.
A lot of these people that are in that camp that still have the Obama sticker, they don't even realize they're holding up the system that's controlling them, that's enslaving them. They're supporting, literally, an illegal war if they can't call Barack on his actions when he's doing exactly opposite of what he said he would do when he was campaigning.
Yeah, well, they always do this, but people have to understand that there is no real difference between the left and the right. It's all really the one party. It's basically a functional, rotational dictatorship, I heard someone, which was a very apt description. It's the party's by the interests, and people get to elect a certain leader, but they don't get to select who that leader is. These leaders are selected for them, and they're all bought and paid for. They all work with the same banking cartel.
The nations are corporations, the states are corporations, but also based on our birth certificate, social security system, the fact that our names are in capital letters.
Oh, absolutely we are. Well, that's why your name appears in capital letters, as you said. You find that the police are also private corporations. You find that a lot of police are actually got their names registered as businesses, as private businesses. We're all incorporated if we choose to enjoin ourselves to that law. It's how they trick people into enjoining themselves to that little corporate entity that they carry around in their pockets, that license that has their name capitalised on it. They get people to enjoin themselves to this corporate time admiralty law. And it's a whole scam. The whole thing is such a big scam.
Yeah.
And the dependence on money and the use of fear and the manipulation of people's belief systems through our controlled mass media. Mm-hmm. This is how it's all done. All of the fear that they project on society, all of our whole societies are actually structured on fear, right from birth. I mean, you get slapped for touching this and touching that. You go to preschool, you get told what to do. You go to school. It's all based on fear of passing your exams and peer group pressure and all this stuff. And they get you locked into this whole fear-based mentality. And that's the problem with the whole world, is that people feel divided from each other when actually we're all connected. We're all connected on a spiritual level, on an energetic level. In all ways, we're connected. And that's what we need to understand. We need to have a society of caring individuals who actually understand the connection to each other and who care about each other.
If we can't deal with illegal wars popping up all over the planet thanks to the people that control our government, this is what I wish those people that were supporting Al Gore would understand. We are not even at the beginning stages, surface level, of healing the environment.
What they need to do is understand the power that they've got, understand that we're all connected. I mean, I just laugh in the face of these people. They don't scare me at all, and I'm not scared to speak out. And there's, a few thousand of these people spread out in their tentacles, even 1 million of them, spread out in their tentacles across the globe. But there is 6.7 billion of us. I think I see a way out of this problem. And I think if people understand that it is us that is holding this system up, it is us that is joining the police force, that is joining the military, that is going out and raping other nations and digging the oil wells and profiting from each other, and it is us that is buying into this system, it is us that is holding it up, then, and we've been trained to have these thoughts of their powers, Well, once people understand that, they can just turn away from the system and start doing the right thing by everybody.
Yeah, that's the real
and just say
reason
no.
they want to depopulate the planet. They're concerned about billions of people waking up.
I know, because people are waking up in huge degrees. There are a lot of people waking up, Alex. A lot of people know about what's going on.
And kind of take their attention away from the cage fights, the UFC, the McDonald's, the sports, the shopping, Christmas season. Oh, Thanksgiving's coming up next week. We can celebrate the rape of the Native Americans. You know, it's going to take something big to kind of rock people's world and kind of go, look, you got to be looking straight ahead. There's a truck coming at you, full speed ahead, and it's going to run your body over, and it's going to take your kids with it too, unless you wake up to the world that you're living in.
Yeah, very much. So I think it's going to take something like that for some people, unfortunately.
A lot of people, when I talk about preparedness and, looking at maybe getting a homestead and living a different way, they view that as something that's frightening because there's this umbilical cord kind of dependency on the dollar, on the economy, or on the system, and all the goodies and trinkets and all the flashing lights. It's wonderful. It's Disneyland. It becomes almost a biochemical addiction to a way of life that has to be broken. Now, when we go through this crash, and we will, folks, it's simply a matter of time, even though I'm not making a prediction on a date, there's going to be a big shock, Max, and I want to get your thoughts on that, on the transition that society could be making the next couple of years. I think in a couple of years, people can wake up to the fact they can grow their own food and they don't have to kill each other for food. But there's going to be some major, major growing pains to get to that point.
Oh, there is, Alex, and unfortunately, I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to get caught up in that. There's a lot of people in the cities that are going to be caught up in that. It is very important for people to try to get some sort of self-sufficiency happening, even if they just have a garden in their backyard in the suburbs. I mean, this really, really helps.